Just be honest. Would you, if Spider-Man was swinging around and he stopped and he's like, yo, you want to go for a swing?
I do a quick piggyback ride. Spider-Man.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Boom! Shakalaka turner! You're out on the floor! Ejectocito, cuz! It worked! I love this part! Please! Come on!
Goodbye, Benny.
All right. This is good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 weeks in a row, we have a guest. You have no idea how excited I am today. Welcome back to the Millennial Classics with yours truly, Swadik Mayanja and Mamburi Makaya. And on this podcast, we bring to you the best and most memorable movies, music, and culture-changing events of our generation. Mamburi, who is our guest? What movie are we doing? And why is it a millennial classic?
All right. So the guest is my brother, Mamburi Makaya, and the movie we're doing it's pretty much widely regarded as, it's my brother's pick, but it's a good pick. And it's like such a clear millennial classic. It's Spider-Man 2.
I believe there's a hero in all of us. Gives us strength, makes us noble. Even though sometimes we have to give up the thing we want the most.
Barker!
Where you been? Looking for you all morning.
You're late.
Always late!
You're fired.
Look at you, Peter. Your grades have been declining. You always appear exhausted.
I know, I'm trying.
For the longest time, it was this and The Dark Knight as the two best superhero movies of all time, pretty much. And this was The Dark Knight before The Dark Knight came out. That's what it is. It's a great, 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. It literally smashed all the records. So it's like, this and Dark Knight really did the thing where it's like huge commercial and huge critical success.
Yes. Before you get into the details, let's get Mambunga into this. Mamburi just said it was your pick. Why don't you tell the people at home why? I know Mamburi gave us the accolades, the big stuff. But why for you personally was it your pick? And can you remember what you were doing and when you saw it the first time?
When I saw it the first time, this is 2004.
Yes.
We definitely saw it in theaters. But I just remember the hype building, because we didn't see the first one in theaters. I remember the hype building up to the second one was insane. There weren't really that many superhero movies back then.
Exactly.
It's just the greatest superhero movie of all time.
Of all time. Every time, baby. Every time. I love it. Did you guys see it together? Mamburi, do you remember the first time you saw it? Do you remember?
I know I saw it in theaters. This is one of those things where it's just like, you saw it in theaters. Because the hype, it was like, this had to be the first Spider-Man was huge.
Exactly.
And then this was like the sequel to the biggest movie. So it's like now the only thing you can think of is like Avengers Endgame, where it was like Infinity War was so big and you just knew everyone was going to go see the next one.
100%. Before we get into the details, Mamburi is going to talk to you about all these goodies, about who made it, how they made it, and all that stuff. But since we're reminiscing about when we did see it for the first time, and this happens because I just don't have a great memory. I, too, remember seeing this in theaters. And if you, watch this movie, even in your living room, the scenes where he's swinging through New York, you feel it. You feel like if you were in a theater, it would have been a better experience. But with all that being said, I know I saw it in the theater the first time I watched it, but let's get back into my time machine and let's remember what was going on. June 30th, 2004, when the movie dropped, I have to get a little political because you got to start with the big deal, okay, the big situation at the time. The CIA admits that there was no imminent threat from weapons of mass destruction before the 2003 invasion of Iraq. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, and due to that fact, Colin Powell announces his resignation and Condoleezza Rice is nominated as the Secretary of State. So now to the lighter situation. What was happening in 2004 when this movie came out? Janet Jackson's breast was briefly exposed by Justin Timberlake during the Super Bowl. You guys remember that?
Dude, I remember. I actually remember exactly where I was with that shit.
It was a life-changing moment for him.
Yes.
I remember everyone talking about it at school the next day.
100%. You guys, I missed it. I did not watch the halftime show. I remember being bothered that I did not watch it because you can't see it. After that, the internet wasn't like it is today. You can't YouTube something that just happened and see the clip. I missed the boob showing. I missed all of it. So that did bother me. Ken Jennings won $2.5 million in Jeopardy that year.
That was 04?
That was 04. That was 04. It's insane. All right, Mumburi, your favorite part about going back in time. Wait, before we do this, the top 5 musicians, artists, since we just did our Millennial Classic, were Blink-182, Green Day, Usher, the Libertines, and Snow Patrol. Blink-182, Green Day, and Usher. That is 2004, if you could ever name.
Confessions.
Could you imagine? And now he's confessing him and all of his herpes crew. Yo, Usher has all the herpalurps. Mumburi, top 5 movies of 2004. Hit me.
My brother can join in on this. I think there has to be a Shrek movie in there.
100%.
Shrek 2.
Is there a Transformers movie in there?
No Transformers in the top 5.
2004?
2004.
I was 2003.
2004. Is there
biggest movies?
Incredibles.
Very good. Very good.
Oh, shit. All right,
very good.
Incredibles, Shrek 2.
Furious.
There's no way
nope.
that's in there. There's no way that's in there. Spider-Man 2 was definitely number 1. Was there a Lord of the Rings Return
Spider-Man
of the King?
2 was not number 1, but go ahead.
Lord of the Rings?
Nope.
And Harry Potter.
Harry Potter's 4. You guys got 4 out of the top 5. At Mumburi, you got 4 out of the top 5. Homeboy said Too Fast, Too Furious. The movie that came number 5 in the top 5 was The Passion of the Christ. And the way the movies broke down, number 1 was Shrek 2. 2 was Harry Potter, Prisoner of Azkaban. 3 was Spider-Man 2. 4 was The Incredibles. And 5 was Passion of the Christ. Could you imagine they picked a Shrek, an ogre, a wizard, a superhero, and an animated cartoon character before Jesus Christ himself?
Isn't Jesus Christ just all those into one?
I love you, Mambunga. Welcome to the Millennial Classics. Mumburi, how was this movie made? Why was this movie made? And any gossip or deets that you know about this movie while it was being
made? This was like literally after the first one came out and had like the biggest opening. This just was greenlit immediately. They gave him $200 million budget, brought back the same director, and they were like, they literally had every single villain in there. They were like, they had a bunch of screenwriters, and they were just like, make another hit. And then they ended up weeding it down to Doc Ock, and it was a huge hit, $789 at the box office. The original, this is kind of like before, but the original Spider-Man pick wasn't. It was the studio wanted Leo DiCaprio
as Spider-Man.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Could you imagine?
I think he did the right thing. I think he was right to decline this shit. But
Leo is a superhero. He would be such a good superhero.
Nah, he's too good for this shit. Nah. He's too good for this shit. He's too good for this shit. It's like Will Smith. You can't
he played Deadshot. He was the greatest character in Suicide Squad.
He played Will Smith with guns, bro.
And he's still better than everybody.
And he's the best part of that movie.
Will Smith in Bad Boys for Life and Will Smith in Gemini Man is better than Deadshot. It's a better shot than Deadshot. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Jake Gyllenhaal. James Franco actually like screen tested for. Yeah, so that's the Rotten Tomatoes 92%.
Word. I mean, you can't get any better than that for a superhero movie. 93%. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing.
When the last time you got 93, Swart?
Stop it. I'm a great student. A's all. I don't think that's how the scoring comes back. Anyways, favorite scenes. Mumburi, give us the list, and then we can jump on in this movie. Let's walk down this movie.
My favorite scenes. I really, this doesn't really count, but I like the intro.
For real, for real.
Where they kind of explain the first movie while they're also doing the credits.
What are you talking about? Like Mr. Aziz intro?
No.
Like, or like the fucking
like the credits, like where
just,
they're like
just while he's talking, the narrator.
Yeah, there's like comic book panels.
Yeah. Okay, all right, that's fair.
And then they're just explaining, but that's not really a scene. My 4.
You only picked 4.
I only picked 4.
All
the
right.
bank scene.
Whoa. So you skipped a lot from the beginning, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
The bank scene, I love the cartoon bags of money. Really like that. There's never been a
cartoon
bank.
bags of money?
There's no bank that has coins of bags with money signs on it. That's like straight from Daffy Duck and all that shit.
Unless you're like a pirate or something.
But he's out walking out. The vault is literally like there's no organization. There's just bags of money everywhere. But the security guard trying to make the front page, trying to take down Doc Ock. That always gets me.
Can we talk about before shit gets wild with the grandma talking to the bank teller?
Yeah.
He's a dick.
No,
he's such a dick.
She deserves it. She deserves it. She deserves it, bro. She deserves it, bro.
Why do you say such things?
You know why? Because why would you open a bank account for a toaster? That's why. First off, we got to start cutting on carbs in 2020. Number 1. Number 2, that's like a financial decision that you're making because of a toaster. I don't know, man.
Look, she wanted to get the loan. She got there for the loan. She wanted the loan. He was a dick. She kicked the shit out of him, bro. And then when shit got wild, the bank teller continues to be a dick. That son of yours, he sure is a hero.
I'd be saying this. I'd be saying the same shit though.
Don't believe me.
Oh, that boy of yours is a real hero.
Now, he really did just dip and leave Aunt May out there. Where do you have the scene ending, Mumburi?
I said the great fight scene from the bank to outside the building. I think it ends right when Aunt May's dropped off. And then all those groupies trying to get rides.
Right? Oh my God, Spider-Man.
Be honest, you go on a ride with Spider-Man? Just be honest. Just be honest. Would you, if Spider-Man was swinging around and he stopped and he's like, yo, you want to go for a swing?
I'd do a quick piggyback ride. Spider-Man.
So he wouldn't even hesitate.
I would jump on his back. Spidey, take me with you. I'm holding on. That shit would look scary as shit, though.
It looks something else.
Wait, what if he's got a little bulge going? You know what I'm talking about? Would you still go? Would you still out behind, bro?
You only get that option once in your life. I'm jumping on Spider-Man's back. I'm going for the swing around.
That is so wrong.
Mobugger, what did you think of the scene? What did you think of the bank scene?
I personally think it's a highlight. I love everything about it. It's also the first time we see Doc Ock as like a true villain.
Yes.
Where he's actually like doing something bad for the sake of it.
Stop it. All right, I'm going to have to cut your bullshit out here because he kills everyone at the hospital. He literally kills random dogs.
The arms do.
The arms.
Yeah, he's not in control. He's not in control at that point.
Any lawyer could get him out of that shit easy, bro.
Who can?
Any lawyer.
The ghost of Connie Cochran.
You could just say the arms are working by themselves, bro.
No, Mumbunga, I apologize for criticizing what you just said because you're right. He wasn't in control in the hospital, and this time Doc Ock seems like he's with the plan, right? Like he's like, I'm down for this. Let's steal this money. Let's fuck up Aunt May and Spider-Man. Yes, I agree with it, and I apologize for, cutting you off. Anything else you thought about the scene?
No, you guys didn't count the whole fight scene after that with like Aunt May and Spider-Man as the same scene, right?
Yeah, I did.
I think we did.
I did.
Help me! Help me!
I'm coming!
All I gotta say is she holds her own in that fight.
Yes, Mumbo.
They don't make umbrellas like they used to, bro. Because I can't think of a single damn umbrella that I've ever owned that you can hang from.
Bro, that umbrella would have been broken. She would have been, but like the thing, she was hanging for a long time on that umbrella.
Yeah, her upper body strength is insane.
It's insane, bro. I can't be on the pull-up bar that long. She's holding on the umbrella, and when she smashes it on his head, like, was Spider-Man gonna dodge the knife without Aunt May's help? Yeah, that's what I'm
his
saying.
Spidey senses, bro. He's dodging that shit, bro.
I hope so. I mean, the scene after that, he loses his powers.
How does he dodge bullets and then he can't dodge a fucking knife, bro?
That's a good point. That's a fair point.
All
Okay,
right.
next scene.
This is just like a funny scene to me, but when MJ and Harry say that he's dead to them, like one after the other.
When did this happen?
At the party, right?
At the party.
Oh, at J.K. Simmons' son's party, the astronauts' party.
Like, just bam, bam, you're dead to me, you're dead to me, you'll never watch me again. And then he falls into a puddle from like 60 feet up.
Not to mention your friend, the bug.
Not tonight, Harry.
Every night. Until I find him, it's 24/7.
Parker! Parker!
I just like that. That's just good comedy.
Well, Burry, that's your definition of a quick, funny scene.
That's just good comedy.
No, he's got a point. Because it's actually better than that. He can't get an hors d'oeuvre at the party.
Oh, my God.
He's a photographer. He can't do his job. And then MJ agrees to get married at that party. And all the hits just keep coming.
Yeah, they really do. At the end, when he picks up that drink with nothing in it, I'm like,
exactly.
He's getting slapped in the face, literally and figuratively. This dude is just the worst.
I think my brother said the word loser about Spider-Man like 5 times throughout this movie. I mean, this dude is a big ass loser almost the whole movie.
Yeah,
it's so sad.
Even when he's posing at the top of the crane at the end of the movie, I'm just like, this dude does not look cool.
He's not.
And literally, his first win comes after that bank robbery scene when those chicks are like, Spider-Man, take me.
Right.
That's his first win.
That's his. Yes, and no, agreed. But can we talk about that? The J.K. Simmons telling the mayor, let's take a picture with the mayor and his girlfriend. J.K. Simmons, what's his name? Mr. Jameson in the movie is fucking amazing. I mean,
he's so good they literally couldn't replace him.
He couldn't. They brought him back 3 Spider-Mans later, bro. 3 Spider-Mans later, but we'll talk about that later. Go ahead.
So my next scene is literally all the J.K. Simmons scenes, all the Daily Bugle scenes.
Boss, your wife's in the line. She said she lost her checkbook.
Thanks for the good news.
I just put them together because they're so short, but it's just roasts on roasts. This dude does not give a fuck. I mean, obviously in 2020, this dude got fired from HR. Like, he would have gone down. But, I mean, he's pretty much in the IG comment section, just in a real person.
Right.
And because you can tell his contempt, he really wants – it's like one of those things where he's jealous. He's so jealous that he's just a hater through and through.
That's my kind of guy.
Of Spider-Man. But also he just treats everyone like shit. So, like –
See, you're killing me here because listen, I swear to God, Mumbari, every scene that he's in is perfect, right? I don't want to spoil nothing, but I'm going to spoil it. He's my MVP for the movie.
Not since 2004.
Mr. Jameson, please, isn't there any of these shots you can use? I really need the money. Aw, Miss Brent, yeah? Get me a violin.
Bro, when he says, can you pay me in advance? And he literally starts laughing out loud.
But could you pay me in advance?
You serious? Pay you for what? Standing there?
He says, what? You want me to pay you for standing there? Get out of here. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Bro, everything.
It was cold as shit at the wedding.
Go ahead.
Called Deborah, the caterer, Tell her not to open the caviar. I mean, just some cold shit left and right.
I'm telling you, it's beautiful. He talks to the dude about naming Dr. Octopus, and he's like, yeah, this is a perfect name after the other dude says it. Everything he does in this movie is magical. Yeah. He's so good. He is so good in this movie. It's I love him. I think it's the greatest thing that they're having him come back, right? That entire scene, everything that he does when he's at the party, when he's telling Peter to take the picture, when he just got like fucking embarrassed in front of everybody. He's a great
What
actor.
makes the character is that moment when Spider-Man, when the crime's up, Spider-Man's missing, Doc Ock is ravaging the city, and he goes like, I drove Spider-Man away. My God, he was a hero. Spider-Man truly was an asset to the city. He was. And then the fucking suit goes, and he's like, a criminal. That's who he is. A burglar. He stole my suit. I want Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was a hero. I just couldn't see it. He was a thief! A criminal! He stole my suit! He's a menace to the entire city! I want that wall-crawling arachnid prosecuted! I want him strung up by his web! I want Spider-Man!
And it's literally like, you know those videos of like when like actors and like rappers are like, whenever the people that like send DMs to them saying like, you're a piece of shit, you're trash.
Yes.
They respond to them like, why am I trash? They always go, oh my God, I'm such a big fan. I never thought you would reply to me. Like, I didn't mean any of that. Like, that's what always happens. So I just remember that. And I'm like, dude, J. Jonah Jameson is Instagram DMs.
He's the best. He's the best. And during that scene, right before he gets the suit stolen, the dude who brings it in, he's like, he tells the lady, give that man some money, his money, and throw a bar of soap. Does he ever stop giving? Listen, the last movie, it never stops roasting. The last movie we did was Black Panther. The last movie we did was Black Panther. And we were saying how much fun Ulysses Claw was having in the movie. J.K. Simmons is such a good, the head of the Bugle fucking editor, whatever he's supposed to be. He is having so much fun in this character, and you can tell. And everyone in this movie is a little extra. When we start talking about the cast and I start talking about the bad guys, I'll say all of the extra juice and stuff that they put in this, but he's having so much fun in this movie. I love every scene that he's in. Every time he's on screen, you're laughing, you're giggling, you're interested, you're watching. He's fantastic. The fact that you put it all together, it's going to be hard for me to pick the other scene, but I'm going to pick the other scene that you're about to mention because I know what scene you're about to mention. You said there's only 4. Yeah, the last and final. Go ahead.
This is the train scene.
100%.
It's like a top 3 subway scene for me.
It's not even. Wait, is it considered
a top one? It's a top 1 subway scene without Denzel.
It's this, Take Me Pelham 1, 2, 3, and Collateral with Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx.
What about Unstoppable?
Unstoppable is a train. It's not a subway, bro.
But this wasn't even in a subway. This was
It's a subway. It's a subway. It's just,
first of all,
subways go above ground, bro, now.
This train doesn't exist in New York.
Yeah, it's a...
Oh, for real?
It's in Chicago.
Have you seen an above ground train in New York?
I haven't. I really haven't. That's a good point.
They filmed it in Chicago.
Makes sense.
I really like it. It's a great scene.
Describe the scene for the people at home. It's the best scene ever, Maburi. It's the best scene ever.
Doc Ock hops on a train. Spider-Man hops on. I want to say that neither of them paid for a ticket. I just want to say that.
Thank you, Maburi.
Doc Ock is just throwing people out the train, and then he speeds up the train Unstoppable style. Then
you started your description halfway through the scene.
Right.
I mean, it's a chase scene, pretty much.
Yes.
That ends up on a train.
There's some New Yorkers, ethnically diverse New Yorkers doing their thing.
There's a heckling train guy. Any more bright ideas? First off, I really felt that when Spider-Man his first instinct was just to hop in front of the train and try to Superman that shit. And then he hops out after 10 seconds, rubbing his thigh. And I was like, yeah, I felt that. I've been there.
Wait, I'm sorry. You felt the pain, or did you feel the sensical comment about any more bright ideas? Because I thought of you when I heard that voice. I'm like, well, Burry, are you in the movie?
No, everyone's been both, right? You've been the guy that's been like, all right, I can definitely lift this thing out of the way real quick. And then you bend over, try it for 2 seconds, and then you're like, ah, shit. But everyone's also been the guy who's watched the guy try that shit. Yo, can we fucking get the dolly for this shit, or are we just gonna sit around?
Please and thank you. Mumbunga, I want to hear what you think about the scene. It's obviously my favorite. Like, I mean, it's not even close, right? But I want to hear about what you think about the scene before I go in and just fucking get in my soapbox about the best superhero scene in superhero history.
For me, this is tied with the hospital scene as my best scene. The thing I love about this scene is that you see Spider-Man in because the first movie we didn't really get to see his full fight powers and everything. He's fighting the Green Goblin, but it's like an old CEO on a hoverboard, so it's not really that exciting.
It's not.
I mean, granted, Doc Ock is like a 60-year-old scientist, but he does have like 4 metal arms.
That's such a good point. I forgot he was a 6. Go ahead.
Not only does he go toe-to-toe with Spider-Man, he whoops his ass.
Yes.
And he does it in a smart way, not like brute force as a villain.
No, it's so important that you said that, right? Because you need to see a superhero lose to make the fighting it needs to
have meaning.
Exactly, to have some meaning. And Spider-Man legitimately loses, and you're right, Mambang. He doesn't lose because he has these big, strong metal arms. He wins because Doc Ock is a genius. Let me explain to you guys, right?
I'm a genius. I use my metal arms.
Yeah, to stop the train. Like, he's thinking outside the box. I'm not just going to beat you with the
Green
thing.
Goblin would just start bombing the train.
Exactly. It's like stupid ass shit, right? Doc Ock is a genius. But let me explain to you why, ladies and gentlemen, this is the greatest scene in the history of in Spider-Man. Because the scene actually starts. It actually starts at the coffee shop with MJ. That is Spider-Man in Spider-Man. Like, it's the greatest.
I do have a problem with that scene.
Why do you have a problem with that scene? Why?
Because Harry Osborn tells him, go talk to Peter Parker. He'll tell you where Spider-Man is. And this man's first instinct is to throw a full car through an entire car.
But he's a genius, though. He's a genius. He's operating on a whole nother level.
I didn't even think about that. If Peter Parker isn't Spider-Man, he's dead.
They're both dead. I mean, if you literally would come into the coffee shop, see 2 bodies on the ground splattered, and then be like, oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
But then you know what he would do? He would just go back to James Franco, say, I'm a supervillain. Give me the fucking tritium, because I'm just going to steal this shit. I don't know why I made a deal with you in the first place.
Right. Look, but stop, okay? You guys, that's a very good point. But with that being said, that scene is still amazing because it starts out at that coffee shop. Peter Parker does that thing where he grabs MJ. And how does MJ not know his Spider-Man at that point? I mean, they just dodged a car that killed the fucking coffee shop
He
waitress.
just dies, bro. Everyone dies.
Everyone dies in that scene, right?
She has her eyes closed.
Oh, okay, whatever the situation is, it is too hectic. You don't know what's going on. He saves MJ, and then he goes for the chase. And at the beginning of that fight is when they're on top of the building before they even get to the train, right?
Yeah,
they use, it's one of my favorite Spider-Man scene things is when he's falling from the building, right? He shoots the web up on the building, shoots the web to grab the second hand.
How does he do it? Give us that right now.
Give me the web slings. Give me the web slings.
He grabs the hour hand from the thing that Doc Ock breaks off and throws it back up to Doc Ock. That is a Spider-Man move. when we were talking about Black Panther and you saw when I talked about how he was running on the wall, this is what you imagine a Spider-Man would do if he had those powers.
What about Spider-Woman? Why'd you say man that way?
Because it is Spider-Man. Go fuck yourself.
Spider-Man. You don't have Spider-Womans. You're Spider-Man. That's the way you said it, bro.
But and then when they fall on top of the train, and then Doc Ock starts to throw the people out to see if Spider-Man can
That's a great move. Great move.
Smart move, right? And then the best part is when they actually get into the obviously outside of stopping the actual train, because that's superhero on top of superhero. When he's inside the train and he's maneuvering and all of this shit and he's jumping, it feels like a spider in a man's body. And it makes sense. It makes sense.
The only thing that felt off was if you've been on a subway train, going in between those doors, it's like a regular person has trouble. Like, you have to, like, walk sideways through those doors. Doc Ock has 8 limbs, and this motherfucker just goes between subway doors, fits his way in, and I'm like, what subway shit is this?
Doesn't he go under the subway at some point?
Yeah, well, because it's above ground. So, yes, because he falls off, and he has to, like, sling, slab, whib, wab.
He's also got good fits in this movie.
What do you mean good fits?
Doc Ock has a great. I mean, off the jump when he's doing the first demonstration, and he's like, he has this fucking lab coat that looks like, I don't know, some shit Mao Zedong wore in the 1920s, but he just rips that shit off. Shout out to Mao. I'm joking. But he just rips that shit off, and then he's like showing that chest, and then he's like giving. Then he gets the arms on. I'm just like, that's a great fit. Anything you can rip off, great fit. But then
he looks homeless at the end, though.
The trench coat mafia.
Yeah, trench coat.
Before he gets into the trench coat, there's a scene where he's in the lair rebuilding. He looks straight homeless, like rags. They get like rags.
That's a definition.
He's definitely homeless, 100%.
But we have to the end of the train scene.
Oh yes, the end of the train scene. Go ahead. You describe it. You rave about it because
he loses the mask. Stops the train with classic train moves. I mean, the train would
classic train moves.
The train would definitely derail in real life, but I like the web slings to the side to stop the train. But
but like before, like, don't you think that is the coolest thing? But because before watching the movie, you would have never thought of that. Like, be honest.
I had to stop a train.
Yeah, if before you saw the movie for the first time, there's no way you believe that. There's no way you would have come up with that.
I would have thought it's going to go in the water. These guys can swim. I know. I'd be like, are there any kids here that can't swim? I'll take you. Everyone else, brace yourself.
Mabugga, have you seen The Boys?
Yeah.
This is the dude who's going to let the plane just sink in the ocean. From season 1? We can't do everything.
But I just liked how the train definitely looked like it was going over, and everyone was still in the front of the train trying to watch Spider-Man, which is just class. I mean, that's classic human beings, where everyone's just like, at least I'm watching Spider-Man. I mean, fuck my safety, but when he loses his mask, he passes out, gets carried to the middle of the train, wakes up. And then everyone's like, yeah, New York, yeah. I'm surprised it wasn't a slice of pizza just passed down with him. But
did you guys see Joey Diaz, my favorite comedian?
I can't believe he held it in this long.
Yeah, I honestly can't. I thought you were going to introduce us as Joey Diaz starring Spider-Man.
I love Joey Diaz. You got to go through me, baby.
Yeah, took 10 seconds.
Doc Ock doesn't even hesitate.
Yeah, he doesn't. It's a great fucking scene. It's a great ending. And listen, I literally have in my notes one of the best superhero, because like when you think of superhero scenes in movies, right? Like the biggest scenes in movies, when you think of The Dark Knight, you think of the fucking bank robbery. When you think of Spider-Man, like of all of the Spider-Mans from all of the 3 different Spider-Man, actors that we've had, this is the Spider-Man scene you think about. I think this is as good of a superhero scene as Endgame, Big War, Thanos versus like the Avengers. Like
honestly,
like a lot of superhero movies chase this scene.
Exactly.
Like, that same feel.
I'd say it's the opposite. I'd say now it's like all these superhero movies. It's like the fate of the world is in one person's hand. Like
he's trying to stop the train.
The dude's just trying to stop a train and save an eight-legged thing. I like the scale of it. It's even the new Spider-Mans. I mean, the one that just came out, it was like there's interdimensional beings coming in all over the world, and if they don't stop them now, they're going to take over fucking the world, and then it turns out it's someone else. But it's still like the scale is so big compared to just like this is just New York. This dude is your local New York guy. I mean, he could wear Timbs for God's sakes. This dude just stays in New York.
This is just a Thursday for him.
And saves New Yorkers. I mean, that's the beauty of this. And I like how, I mean, in New York, this is like one of the worst things that could happen. And they really make it into a huge set piece.
So I just want to explain. I'm not saying it's as big, like it matters as much. I'm saying it's a superhero moment in a movie. And when you think of superhero moments in movies, I think this is top 3, top 5. Because yes, like you do have that big Endgame fight or the Civil War airport fight, or even like, I don't know, like the Superman versus that bad guy in Superman Returns. But like this
means more.
This means more. You feel more. And that ending, when the kid comes and says, Spider-Man, we have something for you, and gives them back the mask, and they all say, your secret is safe with us.
We found something. We won't tell nobody.
Do you want to cry? Do you want to cheer?
I literally was like, these 8 niggas would be taking pictures on World Star. Motherfuckers would have sold that shit.
2020 would be different.
Motherfuckers would have sold that shit to TMZ, like all this shit.
Yes.
Because I mean, Spider-Man is so New York, and it's also why I think this and Batman too. Because Batman, you just think of like Gotham, which is pretty much New York, and it's like they're like so singularly in one place. It would like it seemed weird, even in Justice League, it seems weird to see Batman like out fighting. It'd be weird if Spider-Man 3 took place in Afghanistan and he was with soldiers fighting ISIS. Like that would just be so weird that it makes no sense.
What is he talking about? What is he talking about?
Batman versus Superman when I think Batman is like in the middle of the desert.
Oh my God.
Terrorists.
That really does happen.
It's just that's the beauty of Spider-Man. New York through and through.
It brings things down to earth. Yes. Okay, Mumbunga, can you explain, before we move on from the scenes, I really did love that hospital scene.
You have a couple scenes.
Yeah, talk to me about the scenes you would have added to the list of favorites, and I want you to explain why you like the hospital scene so much that you had it tied with the greatest superhero scene in the history of superhero movies.
So before we get to the doctor scene, I got 2 scenes.
The
first one is really, really early on when he's trying to deliver the pizza. He first comes into his job.
You have to go 42 blocks in 7.5 minutes, or your ass is fired. Go!
I mean, that's why I said it's like from the jump, this is a New York movie.
Yes.
He's like, you're 20 minutes late. The order's about to go out. He asks, why can't someone else do it? He's like, they got deported. When's the last time someone got deported in a superhero movie? My other scene.
Wait, we got to talk about that scene. I love that scene. Mr. Aziz is a motherfucker. Mr. Aziz is a motherfucker. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what he asked Spider-Man to do, not knowing Peter Parker was Spider-Man. He said 42 blocks in 8 minutes.
About just 16 blocks.
In 8 minutes? Listen, if you want to fire the man, fire the man. Why tell him to go?
Dude,
that's insane.
If you're delivering those pizzas, you're gonna get fired, and you're not gonna make it. I would just take those pizzas and go home.
Right. That's my point. 42 blocks in 8 minutes. Fuck you. Fuck off. That's not possible. It isn't possible. And I love that entire scene.
I love it when he gets back and he's like pleading for his job. And then he looks at this man with like just pure hope in his eyes. And the dude, Mr. Z steps forward and rips that shit off his helmet.
Bro, he says, "Fuck you, get out of here." But can I ask you guys a question? This is a superhero movie, and I know they like to make cutesy bootsy bullshit. How did Peter Parker get into the fucking closet of the hotel?
Yeah, we had to talk about that.
How?
There has to be a window in the closet.
But how many janitor's closets
That's
have
what
windows?
Exactly. Have you been in a janitor's closet? It's literally a dark room with brooms.
No, I
and
don't
shit.
spend much time in janitor's closets.
It's just you and Harvey Weinstein.
Could we have a meeting in this janitor's closet?
Listen, can I just say something? Yeah, Harvey Weinstein did some fucked up shit, but he wasn't doing it in a janitor's closet, nigga.
That's just
balling.
me. I'm the janitor's closet guy. Is that what you're going to say?
No. But do you think that Peter does all of this bullshit, clumsy,
because he's a loser?
No, yeah. Do you think he does it on purpose to make people think he's silly?
I assume that janitor's closet was on like the 50th floor or whatever. It was mad high up. So that's the only way in.
Probably. But like she would have just like that the person standing there would have been like, no one has gone into that closet all day, and now I see some random person come up with 14 boxes.
Do you get paid enough to do that shit?
No, I'm just saying, like it's right there. You either see someone go in or see someone come out. Like
I just have never seen receptions on. All right, maybe it was an office. Actually, never mind.
Who knows? Anyways,
this was a PR firm.
All right, next scene, Mambanga.
My other scene is this just plays in to the fact that he's a loser. He walks in the door of his aunt's house, and it's a surprise birthday party, and this man forgot his own birthday. And then what tops it off is this birthday seems like tailor-made for a 7-year-old.
Oh my God, why are you hating on this dude so much?
I love this movie, but I can't get past this fact that it's like a 7-year-old birthday party.
Oh my God.
All the missing is a piñata.
Right. It's the saddest birthday party I've ever seen, right? It's like a chick that lives next door that his aunt's like, can you please come? And Harry, who's a billionaire, nigga's like, do I really have to come to your shit-ass house, Aunt May? But the Peter and MJ, there's been 3 different variations of the Super Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys feel about MJ in this movie? Oh, wait. No, wait. Do you want to talk about that? Let's talk about that when we get to the cast. I just have to say, in that scene, when she looks at Peter, and he's like, I'm going to come to your thing. And her first response is, don't disappoint me.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. We're like, if that's your first comment, that means this dude is a grade A piece of shit.
Right? Like, how much of a dick do you have to be for your best friend to be like, after you say you're going to go visit their show, don't disappoint me?
No, I think that means...
You know what he said 20 seconds earlier?
What?
She said, I'm seeing someone. And he said, oh, a therapist?
Like, me and Lawrence have been talking about it out here. Everyone in California talks about their therapy sessions like it's fucking the weather. It's like, how's the weather? In therapy, I was talking about how my dad stabbed me in the throat. I'm like, why are we talking about your fucking therapist? Okay, can we eat dinner, please? Can we please?
We're at Arby's.
I'll just say, on the West Coast, this therapy life is a different kind of game. Everyone and their mother does therapy, and it's a thing people talk about. Anyways. Okay, can we get to the scene that I've been trying to talk about this entire time? Mumbunga, why do you like the hospital scene so much?
The thing about this scene that I really like, because this director is like a before Spider-Man was like a pure horror director.
What does that mean?
This scene, you really feel like how truly terrifying these arms can be. and like they're impervious to everything. That woman, one of the doctors, is being like grabbed across the ground, like scratching her nails.
It's wild.
It's terrifying.
It's crazy. That it is a really great scene. And when I was watching that, I was thinking to myself, because I was a scaredy cat piece of shit kid, right? I was like, was I scared of this movie? I don't remember being scared, but that scene did make me feel like I should be scared. Those fucking arms with their, like, when you see the camera
open up and like,
yeah, it's wild. And like, you have the doctor and he's like, has anyone been to Chop Shop?
Yo.
Maybe you don't know.
He's got a big ass like saw.
Dude, the funniest thing about that, when I gotta wait fucking 45 minutes when I go visit the doctor, I just assume there's 8 niggas in one room trying to fix a superhero, because I mean, there's literally how many doctors are in that fucking room?
It might be like 8 or 9.
It's like 8 or 9 of them.
For one dude.
In reality, 2 of them are probably doctors for a surgery that intense, right? Probably a neurologist and then everything else. But yes, it does seem like there's 19 doctors in there. And those arms kill them all. Like, it's a serious...
I literally had a note where I was like, do you think Q, as a nurse and all your expertise, could you make it out that room?
No. With those arms, nigga, those arms were dragging niggas who were running away.
I don't get why you wouldn't just play dead.
Right?
Everyone out here trying to saw these shits and scream, bro. I would literally fucking dive in the corner and just play dead.
I respect. I actually do really like that scene. And I remember telling you that this is the first time you see Doc Ock doing some wild shit, but it really isn't Doc Ock. And I did forget. Exactly. It's the arms. They're controlling him because that AI took over, right? Or whatever. Mm-hmm. Wild scene. So we've talked about the scenes, best scenes. Mumburi, what is your least favorite scene of the movie?
I couldn't... worst scene?
Worst scene.
It's the Green Goblin reveal at the end. Dude, Harry really gets on your nerves.
Yeah.
Towards the end, to the point where you're just like, this dude is completely delusional halfway through the movie, and then when he's like...
But also, he never like Peter Parker never explains anything to him. He just lets him like think Spider-Man killed his father.
But, all right, so once you see your father was a huge supervillain in the city of New York, would you be like, nah, Spider-Man killed an innocent man? Or would you be like... shit, my dad might have been a piece of shit. Damn.
Gotta carry the torch.
Or would you be like, nah, I'm gonna suit up?
See, but my thing is, it's like, I agree with you. You have to like be, like, I know it's your father, and it sucks, but he was the fucking Green Goblin.
That's my point. This dude
throws someone off a bridge.
This dude spends the entire...
like, come on!
Go.
Yeah. Spider-Man is saving fucking grandmas from falling off buildings. The Green Goblin bombed niggas. Like, you gotta be like, at some point, like, my dad wasn't that great of a guy. He made a lot of money, and he was my dad, but he can't be the dude, right? He can't. I do like that that's your least favorite scene, because I thought, yes, the scene where Doc Ock goes to Harry's house to talk to him about meeting the
Precious tritium.
Whatever the fuck this made up shit is. It should have been vibranium.
It's real.
Wait, is it actually?
Yeah, tritium is a real thing.
I love it. Thank God it is. But yes, when that scene, it is so corny. And I don't know if you guys remember the video work. Every time Doc Ock is coming, right? It's like an earthquake and everyone's looking.
Yeah, it's like Jurassic Park.
Right? So Harry's on his building with his Jack and Daniels on the rocks in the nice glass.
It was Maker's Mark.
Dude needs a detox because he spends half this movie just boozing.
He's a billionaire who drinks cheap alcohol.
Whatever he's doing, bro. But that scene, the camera work is so shit. It literally like zooms in and then this way. So you see one side, you see the other side, and I'm like, what are we looking for? It's nothing.
It's like anacondas.
And then he walks up to the edge, and then Doc Ock comes, and Doc Ock catches the glass with his metal fingers. Yeah. Come on. Like, am I supposed to believe this bullshit? Right? Am I supposed to believe? And the reason I have it as my least favorite scene is because what Mumburi said earlier is 100% right. You have these metal arms. You're killing random people at fucking Subways. Why wouldn't you just choke Harry out and be like, give me what I need? Why am I making a deal with a regular person when I just decided to rob a bank and kill random people?
But if you just gone back, if he'd gone back without Spider-Man,
I don't think it would have affected him. But I think he wanted Spider-Man out of the picture anyway.
But
let's kill two birds with one stone.
I guess.
When Harry, you could tell Harry wasn't about that life when Spider-Man wakes up and he just drops. I mean, he wasn't going to kill. I don't think he was ever going to kill Spider-Man.
He came at him with a letter opener.
Spider-Man just wakes up and then removes the fucking
the iron bars.
And I'm just like, all right, yeah, this is. I don't know what the dude was thinking.
I think Spider-Man was playing dead because he knew Doc Ock would have fucked him up. Until Doc Ock left,
done the same shit.
Right? I would have done the same shit too. But that's my least favorite scene. Mambunga, is your least favorite scene different from either of ours?
Of course.
Oh, talk to me. What's your least favorite scene, Mambunga?
So it's after the pivotal moment where he stops being Spider-Man, tosses the suit away.
Okay.
And as we see on the Daily Bugle, crime up 75%. But my man doesn't care. He's walking down the street. Cool as you like. Some chicks are checking him out. It's a busy, packed street. And then he walks past an alley, and some random guy is just being mugged right there. And then all of a sudden, it's an empty street. It just blows my mind. He's in like downtown New York. And I guess he turns, but he doesn't continue walking down the street. He like immediately walks into the street.
Right. No, Wambunga, you are the funniest motherfucker. Bro, you always pick the most random scenes.
Because it just drives me insane.
Ladies and gentlemen who are watching this now that have not seen or listened to every single episode we've done, go back to our Too Fast, Too Furious scene, and then Mambunga will describe to you the scene where they were dancing at a club, okay? I'm telling you, what the fuck, Mambunga? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Listen, all right, look.
It's doing the little things.
Look, but I agree with the scene. But I think you needed that scene for him to see him avoid a bad situation and decide, I'm Peter Parker, I'm not Spider-Man anymore.
But they got the same feeling of that scene when he was buying a hot dog and then the cops roll by.
Yes, exactly. So you didn't need the added bonus of seeing someone get fucked up
by two people, like just getting straight jumped.
He doesn't like, bro, at least call the cops. Like, you're not Spider-Man, but you're still a person, you know?
He does nothing.
It's like, fuck it. I can't. Done, bro. But look, since we're here talking about this, Mambunga, the both of you, we all have our worst scenes picked. We're going to go to Cass next. How does Spider-Man's powers work? Do you just have to believe in yourself? Is it an anxiety thing?
Can we talk? ED, bro.
He needs what?
I think it's like ED, where you just need some therapy or some shit. I don't know.
Whatever it is.
Doc Ock says in the beginning, he's like, love can mess with your mind or something.
Oh, yes. I did think about that for a hot second, but then he went to a doctor that had the hippie shirt on, and he was like...
Yo, I said the exact same thing. I said, if I ever see a doctor wearing that shit around me.
I don't want that doctor. I don't want that doctor. Number one.
The doctor was like sitting down with him and let's talk. I'm like, dude, this is why I'm waiting in the waiting room for an hour, bro, because doctors are talking.
Next thing you're talking about your feelings. Maybe you're not Spider-Man. Oh, that's your friend's dream, nigga? Stop. That's the doctor you go when you want your medical marijuana card. Look at that dude. The dude is high on the job.
He was a therapist.
The job. All right. Okay. I think we beat the scenes to fucking death. All right. Mamburi, let's jump into the cast. Let's talk about MVP and LVP. MVP, who do you have? And then
Doc Ock. we talked about this in Black Panther and Iron Man about villains just being like, oh, this villain is literally just the Black Panther but with a different suit, or oh, this villain is Iron Man but bigger, or Iron Man but there's more of them. But this villain is actually like completely unique, really good, has his own story. He could have his own movie, really. It's like he's a tragic figure that gets redemption, which I really like.
Yes.
He's just not like a dickhead through and through. He's actually, in his twisted way, trying to save the world by providing this new technology.
Renewable energy, yes. It's not a crazy way. We have fusion right now. It's a legit way. I agree with you.
Yeah, I just don't agree that your lab needs to be in downtown fucking New York. Take that shit to Ohio, player.
On the 16th floor.
That's the only thing. I mean, come on. We could do this shit anywhere else.
Bro, he's doing it on like a fucking boat dock. I'm like, dude, what is this lab?
They literally are doing the first demonstration. There's like suits and bigwigs. There's no protective glass. There's no safety distance. These motherfuckers are drinking coffee and watching a huge fireball from like 20 feet away. No glasses.
And this dude with 8 arms is yelling, "It's just a glitch. I got it." I'm like,
it's just a spike.
It's just a spike. It's just a spike. Mumburi, MVP. And I'm sorry, not Mumburi. Mumbunga, MVP, but Mumburi, Doc Ock as an MVP is hard to argue with. He is a great villain. I do want to talk about, remember when we talked about, I forgot what movie it is, but I said, if you are going to make your bad guy scary, like silly, like Disney bad guy, then you got to make him silly. And he had just enough of those crazy moments when he made the quote
brilliant
about,
but lazy.
Yeah, but he's like, it's like a perfect amount of silliness because no one actually says the things he says. Like when he's talking to the arms, and like when he turns around and the camera zooms at his neck and he saw it's busted. Right? That conversation where he has with himself / the arms, he's like, "Oh, I can't steal it. I'm not a criminal." And
that's like says, when you get drunk and accidentally shit yourself, and then you turn around and you go, "The inhibitor."
Don't know what you just said, but what I was going to say is he looks at the arms. He's like, "I can't steal. I'm not a criminal." Then he turns to the other arm and he says, "No. The real crime would be not finishing what I started." I'm like, nigga, go do your shit. I'm like, go do your thing. That is the true crime.
You gotta really, that's one of those things where you gotta really believe it.
Yes.
To really kill it, and he does.
He killed it. Oh, I cannot miscalculate. I would never miscalculate.
It could have been me.
He couldn't. Peter's wrong. Mumbunga, MVP of the show, movie.
I think the obvious MVP here is Doc Ock. He really does kill it. He makes a movie for me. My MVP light, just like MVP on the side, is going to be The Landlord. The Landlord from Hell, bro.
Talk to me about The Landlord. His name is Mr. Djokovic. Mr. Djokovic. Why do you like The Landlord?
First of all, first time we see him, he's chilling in a room with 3 dudes at a table. First of all, the table is right in front of the door. Then you open the door, and they're sitting at the table. And he goes, "I need the rent money. You're late 1 month." He goes, "All I got is this 20 for the entire week." And he just gets up and snatches that shit.
Snatches that shit real quick.
You'll starve.
Bro, ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to rewatch this movie and understand the savagery of this scene. Peter Parker is walking up his stairs, coming off of the heels, the scene of the movie, coming off the heels of him going to J.K. Simmons' office. He gets a check for $300, and then the officer is like, I can't give you the money. This doesn't cover the advance I gave you last week. He has $0 in his pocket. He just got fired from Mr. Aziz's pizza shop job.
He just had the worst birthday party.
Worst. He's sneaking up his stairs, trying to sneak around. And then the landlord opens the door and says, "Don't you dare try to sneak away from me." All right, nigga? And
he is like a rat.
He snatches the $20 out his hand, bro. Out of his hand. And he's like, he said, I don't know what the actual quote is, but he says something like, I'm sorry, or can I get an advancement? And he's like, can I pay with I'm sorry? No, thank you.
Yeah.
He's an asshole. He's an absolute asshole. But you love him in this movie. And another scene when he's in the movie, he runs out of his bathroom with his pants down. This dude is the worst fucking landlord.
The worst landlord.
The worst landlord. The joke that killed me that he made, he's like, what did he say? If I'm sorry's were crackers, my daughter would be fat. She drops his spoon and burns the pan right after. And the way he looks at her is like, I lost everything.
Yeah.
But
he's done.
I think you guys know J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson is my MVP. But I know Monbury always loves doing this wild shit. Do you guys remember? I have an editing or a movie cinematography MVP. All of the screaming in this movie is amazing.
On point.
On point. The scream when Doc Ock's wife gets killed, amazing, right? The scream when Aunt May is falling down the building when Doc Ock throws her, amazing. And then the scream at the coffee shop with MJ. Just go back and watch these Spider-Man screams, and it is fantastic. It is the most Hollywood scary superhero screams ever, and they hit it beautifully. Let's go backwards now. Mumbunga, how about you tell us about your LVP, your least favorite actor character in the movie?
My LVP, strangely enough, actually lives on my MVP light, and it's his daughter.
Oh, damn.
Because I literally wrote
damn.
Aber chick equals weird. Like, I don't, like, what was the point of her in the movie?
Yeah.
Besides
Isn't she
milk and cookies?
She's a bigger part in Spider-Man 3, right? Don't they date? Or he takes advantage of her or something? Like he uses her. He's weird. Like there's a thing in Spider-Man 3. She does pop up, but she was out there. She was just really weird. Really weird.
Yeah, it's a weird dynamic throughout the movie. She's only in it in like the first half. And then she just completely disappears. So you're left wondering, what was the point?
What's going on with her? Like she just lives in her father's house and makes cookies, right? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Mumburi, LVP?
Like it's tough to pick one because I really like this movie. If you twisted my arm and my leg and everything else, I would find I would probably get Harry.
What a weird expression. My arm, my leg.
I mean, if you just twist my arm, I'm not going to give one. But if you twist everything, it would probably be Harry Osborn.
Yeah.
He just weird vibe going on. He's not like anyone. Like he doesn't act like any human being I've ever met.
Billionaire dude, you know.
But I mean, he's known Pete since he was a kid, and it just seems like one of those things where you would like do a lot of research on what happened between Spider-Man and the dad before you just like.
Well, there's one scene where he has like newspaper clippings and like a file on Spider-Man.
It's weird. Yes, it is on his desk. Yes,
and
I do.
If he knew that like all you would have to do is follow Peter to find Spider-Man, why wouldn't you just put like a PI on
PI.
I
was thinking the same thing.
Whatever. But when Spider-Man saves his life and he just goes, he humiliated me by touching me, I'm just like, what does this guy want, bro?
There's so many good like hater lines in this movie.
What does this guy want?
So if Spider-Man let you die, you would have been in a better hospital. That's such a good point, Mabari. He said he humiliated me by touching me. That's racism on a different level.
Very presence.
Oh, that's a great pick because it is to my LVP. Listen. I have to say this because it's the weirdest fucking thing in all of the world. every time, what's it called? Every time he sees Peter, he's just like talking about, oh, you're taking pictures of your friend. It's the weirdest quote. No, are you out there taking pictures of your little friend?
He's like, I know I shouldn't bring it up. He brings it up every single fucking time.
Every single time.
You just sitting there? You just sitting there taking pictures of your little friend?
You're your buddy, your pal.
It's the weirdest thing. All right. So we've got 2 votes for Harry and 1 vote for the chick. The landlord's daughter.
I didn't learn her name.
Exactly. That's the thing. The thing about the landlord's daughter that I have to agree with, she really is just awkward and out there, but I felt more bad for her.
Guy,
I know. What I'm saying is the reason I picked
this movie who's more of a loser than he is.
Who? What do you mean? Oh, yes. You're a fucking asshole. You know that? You know that, motherfucker? There has to be someone lower than Peter. Let's have the daughter be it. I felt bad for her, so that's why I didn't pick her as the least. And I don't think she did enough for me to really. But I agree. Both of those characters are absolute shit. Well, I think they're not good. They don't level up like everybody else. Okay.
I think that's it for me.
That is ditto. Does anyone have any quotes, Spider-Man quotes that they want to talk about? And then we'll talk about the remake and wrap this bad boy up. Anyone have quotes?
I used all my quotes for the Joe Jameson thing, and he humiliated me, so I'm good on that. And then I have no reboot because we've rebooted Spider-Man 3 times since this movie.
Exactly. I wanted to talk about the reboots that they already have. So let's get into this because there's 3 big questions here. Number 1, who's your favorite Spider-Man? Number 2, which is your favorite Spider-Man movie? And number 3, what's it called? I wanted to talk about J.K. Simmons coming back in the newest Spider-Man that's about to come out. So, Mambunga, favorite Spider-Man movie and favorite Spider-Man actor?
This one is definitely my favorite Spider-Man movie. Best actor, gotta be Tobey Maguire.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I like the new ones, but the whole point of Spider-Man was he's a bum. He's not a billionaire. He's not like the X-Men. He doesn't have a mansion and a private jet. Even Blade got like an underground lair. But Spider-Man, he's just a dude, just average guy. And the new ones, they kind of make him like Iron Man. So I don't like that Spider-Man as much.
Yes.
And he flies around in a fucking private jet.
He really does. It's wild. He's like a fucking chauffeur that drives him around in a private jet.
And this man can't pay rent. He's a true nigga, bro.
What about Miles Morales? What do you think about him? Would you put if I put him in the thing? How do you compare?
That's
Miles
the second best movie. I think.
The second best. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so Mambori, all right. Favorite Spider-Man movie and favorite Spider-Man actor?
I'd go with the same.
Okay, 2 and 2.
2.
Yeah, so I think favorite Spider-Man move.
It's for you. It's Andrew Garfield, right?
Fuck off. Look, listen.
The Jamie Foxx one.
Look, I
think
Tom Holland is probably my favorite Spider-Man actor. But my favorite
he looks the most like Spider-Man.
Yeah,
he doesn't act like Spider-Man.
The reason I say that is because in my head, Spider-Man is a high school kid. Right? I know Tobey Maguire is older, and this is a different time in Spider-Man's life. But in my head, Spider-Man is a high school kid.
Well, he was a high school kid in the first one.
I understand that, but he doesn't look like a high school kid. None of these motherfuckers. Does Harry look like Harry Osborn? What does James Franco look like a high school kid in the first movie?
Hey,
get out of here.
They're like LeBron. They're built different.
I'm sure they were. But Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man actor, but Spider-Man 2 is by far my favorite Spider-Man movie. And it's not even close. I have Spider-Man 2 as like top 5 superhero movies. Forget Spider-Man movie. That is absolutely fantastic. So the last thing I want to talk about, do you think it's the right thing having J.K. Simmons jump different Spider-Mans and come back as 100%. The head of the Bugle? Do you like it?
Yeah? He's the best. Probably the best actor.
I love him.
So
he's too good not to have, and the fact that they had him at the end of the last Spider-Man was absolutely fantastic. Do you guys have any final thoughts, final questions? Because I've got a couple before we say goodnight.
One last thought is how Spider-Man. How does he not have like a shoe deal or something? Like, how does he not rock like Nikes? You know what I'm saying? Like it's baffling me. Like, this man should be printing money.
Mabuga. This is going into one of the final thoughts I had, right? My whole question was, Spider-Man must have a better job than taking pictures of himself or fucking delivering pizza. Delivering pizza. You're Spider-Man and you're delivering pizza? There must be something else you could do, right? Exactly. But
like he doesn't like market himself at all.
Mabuga, how is Spider-Man, who's trying to keep his identity safe, going to have a shoe deal? Explain
let's
that.
Let's be honest. In 2020, he'd have a TikTok, he'd have a YouTube channel, subscribe.
Oh yeah.
Like he'd be blowing up.
And that's why I like Tom Holland so much, because
dude, he just takes cash only.
Exactly.
What he's got an OnlyFans page. What do you think, Spider-Man?
Nah, bro. Nike backs up the Brinks truck and drops off the cash, bro. He gets paid in Bitcoin, whatever you want.
He just shows up to the meeting with his suit on, takes the money.
Mabuga, any more final thoughts? Any more final questions?
No, I think that's it for me. Actually, no, wait. One more thought.
Talk to me.
After he saves MJ, yay, Doc Ock is dead, sad. They're chilling on like this perfectly made spider web that it baffles me. Like, did he become a spider?
Right? Look, listen. While watching the movie, I told Adam straight up, that must be for MJ the most uncomfortable thing. So it's either really
They're
sticky,
like hanging,
right?
But like lying against it.
Because in every other situation, when Spider-Man's web people up, it's all sticky and they can't let loose.
Yeah, it comes out of them.
Right? So then I'm like, is she stuck to it or is she leaning on it and just having a good time? I don't know what's going on. I agree. It's a weird scene. Monbury, any last thoughts, questions, ideas, things you want to throw out there?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. So I've got a couple here for you. Mm-hmm. You guys, real talk. I know even in 2020 with as great cell phones as we have right now, this dude had a fucking scroll, click picture camera. How hard was it for Peter to take those selfies? In the Spider-Man costume, those must have been insane.
He hangs it with the web. And just sets a timer.
No. I think that makes sense. That's one of my questions. The Spider-Man song, is it a legit Asian thing? I tried Googling this.
No, it's from the theme song.
I know, but like every movie, they have an Asian person singing Spider-Man. Is it an Asian thing?
Into his non-marketing thing, because he should be making money off that.
He probably should be. He definitely should be. This is my favorite Aunt May. Do you guys think that? I know we just talked about the favorite Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland. Do you guys like the Tom Holland Aunt May? I love Aunt May in this one. Like, I don't want to be attracted to Aunt May. Tom Holland's Aunt May is attractive, right?
In this one, she's like a straight up G. She's fighting Doc Ock.
That's what I'm saying.
She's getting kids to work like slave labor for her.
Henry from across the street is doing $5 for a day of work. Aunt May, I know you're poor, but don't put these kids in slavery.
Exactly. She got some great speeches in there.
Right? I believe there's a hero in all of us.
Yeah.
This is my favorite Aunt May. I absolutely love this.
She's trying to get the loan, but can't.
And then finally, just my final thought before we end this is that upside down Spider-Man kiss that MJ tries to do with her astronaut boyfriend.
Oh, we never even talked about the fiancé.
Yeah, the fiancé with the upside down kiss, right? The fiancé is an astronaut. Look, I love you, Peter, right? You deliver pizza and you're getting your astrophysics degree, but my husband, my fiance is an astronaut and I'm going to break up with him because you told me you loved me after coming to one show? MJ, are you confused?
He also never does anything until she says, like, oh, I'm seeing someone. Then he's like, you know what? I'm going to show up to your next show. He's like, oh, I'm about to get married. You know what? I love you.
Talk about that side piece hustle, bro. He is, I mean, this is fuckboy work like I've never seen before. I mean, her boyfriend is currently an astronaut. An astronaut. There's like 10 of them in the world. This lady's a confused.
I think there's more astronauts than 10.
There's probably more. But that upside down kiss, I was thinking about it for a long time. It's probably the most uncomfortable thing in the history of the world. Because as a kid, when you're watching Spider-Man, that's the coolest thing. You get the girl and you get to kiss her upside down, and it's sweet, and you hang.
That never seemed appealing to me.
Exactly. When you grow up and when you start kissing people, and as it's awkward as it gets, kissing someone upside down must be the most awkward thing. It's just, I don't think it's a good situation to be in, to have. I don't know why she asked her boyfriend to do it, but it's MJ. I mean,
they never do it in any of the other Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know. Of course not, because it's a silly thing to do. It's a silly thing to do. Once you think about it for 5 seconds, you're like, you know, it's just, it doesn't make any sense.
Maybe Spider-Man just said, you have to get in and get out.
Get in and get out, man. Get in and get like every time I see it happen, or at least when I think about it, when they, you know, hint at it in these Spider-Man movies, I think about like when you try. Let me not. Ladies,
say it.
I was just thinking, when you try to do a 69, you always think it's a good idea, but the reality is it does not work. Ladies and gentlemen, for you young kids out there, do not 69. It doesn't work unless you guys are the perfect height. It's useless. It's just useless. It's not fun for anyone.
That's why you sort by height on Tinder.
Exactly. Swipe by height. Mabunga, Maburi, thank you so much. This is it. This is as good as Spider-Man 2 is going to get. Listen, you guys. Oh, Mabunga, shout out your Instagram so people can go follow you and talk shit about your pick when it comes to LVP. It's definitely Harry. It's definitely Harry. It's not the lady. What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is @still_the_banger.
It's going to be in the description box below. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Mambunga, thank you for joining us. If you have not seen Spider-Man 2 in recent past, and I mean in the last couple of months, you need to sit down, get a box of popcorn, and watch this. This is a millennial classic like no other millennial classic. It is a superhero that began the greatness of superheroes that you see today from Marvel. All right? Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 2. That's our favorite Spider-Man, and you should like it too if you are a millennial. Catch you next Tuesday. Deuces.